I remember back in the day, and well, by back in the day, I mean like the early 2000s, where actors and actresses were picked specifically to fit a role, fit a job, fit a character. And from this, you had legitimately good characters, you had legitimately good roles being filled. You had your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, you had your plays Jason Bourne. I can't remember his name. It's like I remember his name, but not his face. I mean, Keanu Reeves didn't really get his, jump start, but you got your Jack Sparrows. You know, you had legitimate actors and actresses that played a role so well, it jumpstart their career, and just off the backs of these characters, you had IPs that truly have grown. You had fandoms around these movies, TV shows, hell, games. The person that plays Teal'c in Stargate, who voices Kratos and Darth Vader. People like that legitimately built the industry from their acting, from their hard work, and they made lots of money off of it. But they also had the industry uh, effectively profligate through their acting to the masses. And you hit, I'd say after like Harvey Weinstein was a piece of shit, but after they locked him away, it's like Hollywood has actively refused to choose actors and actresses to fit the role. They just have a role and they just dump anybody in that role nowadays, or they mess with the character to try to push some political message. Like I'm looking back at like The Boys, and like the first couple of seasons, Highlander was a legitimate like threat. Like he was beyond powerful, beyond any like level of stopping that the main characters could have done. But then as the later seasons went on, they kind of just nerfed him. They're like, okay, well, you can't fight him physically, so let's have him become this fucking mental weirdo. And you can tell that they've done everything in their power to just ruin the character, first and foremost, before, having the character uh, play the role. And you see this with I'd say the first time people seen this was with Star Wars. Eighth episode where they've done everything in their power to shit on Luke and make him into an absolute no one just to replace him. After that, every single IP tried to do that. And what happens is you get characters like Belle Ramsey here. A person who apparently is the most hated in The Last of Us. And it's like, I can understand where people are coming from because I wouldn't be able to play like Spawn, right? Because I'm a fat fuck. And Spawn has a particular type of, character, a particular type of physique. Like that character makes Spawn, and Marvel tried to make what's that? The person who plays Deadpool in Deadpool versus Wolverine. They try to make him make a Spawn. He's like, if I can't get the original actor to do this, I'm not going to do it. Right? He just said it with a straight. We just said it, and I'm assuming Disney just wanted him to thrust someone in the fucking role, and you see all these like Marvel characters popping up that absolutely nothing about. They are completely different than what they were in the comics, and people wouldn't care if they would just create new superheroes. But it's clear they're trying to take the name of the IP but have none of the substance, like Ironheart. Like, no one cares for Ironheart. They're trying to write it off as a tax write-off, but they couldn't do that. So you have just actresses like her, and I understand, because if I was to play Spawn, yeah, people would be mad first and foremost at Marvel, but people also be mad at me. Like, you took this, like, what the fuck, man? You just took the money and just shat on the character. 21-year-old Belle Ramsey is currently the most hated star in Hollywood. It feels like every time a young person has the audacity to essay audacity to essay flashed flashed out roles and speak their mind in an interview, the internet can't keep calm until they're dragged down. Jennifer Lawrence, Rachel Ziegler, and now Belle, who portrayed the 14-year-old and 19-year-old Ellie in season 1 and 2 of HBO The Last of Us. Yeah, I mean, Rachel Ziegler, she played a role of a character of a IP that she doesn't care about, that actively tried to subvert what Snow White was, and Belle just she just does not look like Ellie. She just like you look at you played the game The Last of Us, but then you look at this actress and you're like, something's just not adding up. Like, why? And the question is why. Well, we know why, because Hollywood's just throwing, like, it's to the point where I expect them to ruin a character and a role and an IP just simply based off the type of people they hire. Like, okay, if anything Rachel Ziegler touches, people are just not going to watch, because people don't care for the actor. She may make a lot of money, but I mean, people are not seeing it, or they're going to, surf the high seas. Wink, wink. Type Bill's name in the search bar of any social media, and you'll see why I say that. The worst of the hate coming their way somehow has to be from the Reddit community, subreddit deducted to the web series, dedicated to the web series. Can't seem to stand the way Belle looks, emotes, acts, maybe even breathes. Yeah, again, there's, like, if you look at any old, like, actor and actress, like, they did everything in their power to embody the role of the character, like method acting, right? Not having Jack Black play Jack Black in every movie, not having The Rock play The Rock in every movie. I mean, that you just... They played different characters. Okay, The Rock in Jumanji was fine, but after that blew up, he just played the same character. And, like, someone said Red 1 was fine, but that's because The Rock, like, just effectively wrote the entire script himself. So, obviously, he's jerking himself off, but... I mean, I need to surf the high seas, wink, wink, to watch that movie. Belle being on the spectrum as an autistic person. See, and this is also how they try to portray people. Like, they're like, oh, as an autistic person, therefore, blah, 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 you shouldn't be mad. No. If you take a role that you know you can't embody, and you know is going to piss people off, and you know Hollywood is going to put you there, like, I'm sorry, you can't throw, your mental illness as a shield. Like, people want an actor and actress to actually look the part, play the part, and if you don't like that, make new IPs. Like, it's simple, right? Also seems to rile them up, all because they do not look anything like the video game Ellie from the PlayStation game the series is based on. Yes, and this is 100% fine. Like, you didn't have to make the Last of Us movie. right? Or the TV series. They did not have to do it, but they chose to do it. They chose to put someone that didn't look the part. So yeah, you're going to have people go after you for it, and to make the purists mad. They don't seem to mind that their co-star Pedro Pascal looks nothing like video game Joel either. It's not hard to guess why. Any conversation that may be, just maybe, the writing of season 2 is bad isn't encouraged. Again, I don't care to watch any of this. Like, it's clear Neil Cuckman is doing everything in his power to sort of rile up the fan base. Like in the first season, you had this like farm with two old gay men kissing, and I didn't care the fact that they were gay men and they were kissing. I cared the fact that why the hell, what the fuck does any of this has to do with, you know, the zombie outbreak and post-apocalypse? And okay, you can have the logic. I don't care. I don't watch it to see two gay men kissing. Like, I watch it to see, you know, the shitty world that they're in. Like, it's Last of Us. This isn't the both of us gay ass homies. And again, it's difficult to get across this because, you know, you have contrarians that, you know, their entire life revolves around being contrary to what normal people think and how normal people act, and they'll go after you for just stating what you believe. And it doesn't matter if my opinion is completely out there. It doesn't matter if it's unreasonable. You can't, you know, get a view out of me just from attacking me because I don't want to see two gay dudes. I wouldn't want to see a straight cat couple in that situation because I don't care. Like, I don't care. I just don't care. But anyway, and again, it makes sense because you took the role, and obviously you probably have agencies that do these negotiations for you. You have Hollywood that's like, yes, we're going to put you here, knowing you're going to get hate. You know, knowing we're going to get hate, but we're going to do it anyway. Like, again, it's indefensible in my opinion. Because and again, things like this builds up spite. And I should make a completely different video about this, but, you know, spite is a resource that builds up. Like, every time you attack people online or attack fans, or tell the paying customers, call them, moral, emotionally charged labels, even if it's applicable, right? People don't like being insulted, and like it builds up this spite. And when you have situations where Hollywood's laying people off, the actors and actresses are on strike and they're not getting jobs, like, that's when people utilize spite and be like, good fucking riddance. You know, these exact same people were telling the farmers to learn to code, but now the very people, like, no one's watching them, no one's watching the journalist, no one cares for the actress, they're getting laid off, and the sentiment is, well, I don't know, learn to farm, you know, learn to truck drive. You know, they're getting replaced by AI, and that's just the situation they're in. And they demand you have an opinion, but I'm sorry, you're ruining my movies, you're ruining my entertainment, and you're demanding that I, you know, defend you. Fuck no. No, I'm not gonna fucking defend you. And I don't think I'm thinking any different than any normal fucking human being. It's just, you know, these people, they surround themselves and they build their entire worldview just based off a couple of unreasonable people, and they act like anyone that disagrees with them is that few unreasonable people. And next thing you know, you're now the unreasonable person in this scenario. But anyway, I mean, obviously it sucks that the actress is getting hate. But you kind of just put yourself in these situations, and this is what Hollywood wants nowadays. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.